Tech is rewriting the rules of competition this week, with bold players challenging entrenched giants and governments taking a more hands-on role in shaping industries. From an AI startup aiming to snatch one of Google's crown jewels to Washington weighing a stake in Intel, the lines between innovation, politics, and power are blurring fast. My name is Eniola Lunge, and here's today's Zoom Out for August 14, where I'll help you see the bigger picture. AI startup Perplexity stunned the tech world with an unsolicited $34.5 billion all-cash offer to acquire Google's Chrome browser, a product with over 3 billion users and deep integration into Google's ecosystem. The bid comes amid U.S. antitrust pressure on Google, including calls for Chrome to be spun off. While analysts doubt Google will ever sell, the move is a bold attempt by a young AI firm valued at less than half the offer price to grab global attention and possibly a seat at the negotiating table in the future of internet access. So what's your Zoom Out takeaway? Even if the deal never closes, the bid signals how AI challengers are willing to play on the biggest stage to disrupt entrenched platforms. It's also a reminder that in tech, perception can be as valuable as the product. Intel shares jumped after reports the Trump administration is in talks to take an equity stake in the chip maker. The move could accelerate Intel's delayed Ohio chip plant and solidify domestic supply chains as the U.S. races to counter China's semiconductor dominance. It's a rare instance of the U.S. government considering direct ownership in a major tech firm, a strategy more often seen in Asian industrial policy models. So what's your Zoom Out takeaway? Chip manufacturing is no longer just a private sector game. Governments are stepping in as active players, and in the semiconductor race, national security and industrial policy are becoming just as important as market forces. Beijing has sanctioned 2 Lithuanian-headquartered EU banks in retaliation for European measures tied to the Russia conflict. At the same time, the EU is working to deepen economic ties with Southeast Asian nations to reduce reliance on the US and China. But analysts doubt that these partnerships can fully offset superpower influence. So what's your Zoom Out takeaway? The EU's attempt to go third way between Washington and Beijing faces real limits. China's swift retaliation underscores how vulnerable Europe remains in a world defined by economic blocs and rapid countermeasures. Nigeria has greenlit a $2.6 billion refinancing plan to pay off arrears to 27 power generation companies dating back to 2015. The move aims to stabilize the country's electricity sector, cut subsidies by 35%, and save the government an estimated $718 million annually. If implemented effectively, it could boost investor confidence and unlock long-delayed infrastructure upgrades. So what's your Zoom Out takeaway? Reliable electricity is the backbone of industrial growth, and Nigeria's refinancing push is a rare structural reform in a sector plagued by chronic underperformance. The real test will be whether the savings are reinvested into lasting capacity improvements. A South African court has stopped Total Energies and Shell from exploring for oil off the Cape Coast, siding with environmental groups and local communities concerned about ecological damage. The ruling highlights how legal systems are becoming key battlegrounds in the global energy transition. So what's your Zoom Out takeaway? Energy security and environmental stewardship are increasingly colliding, and in some regions, courts are deciding which side wins. So the bottom line is this: whether it's governments reshaping industries, companies challenging giants, or communities pushing back against extractive projects, the world is redrawing the lines of its influence. What story stood out to you today? Drop a comment, share your thoughts, and subscribe for more context with me. When the world zooms in on the noise, I zoom out so you can see the bigger picture.